Now that we've been partnered with AMSOIL on our Diesel of the Week series for nearly a year and have shared the stories and engine builds of several dozen diesel shops, people are taking notice. One such person is Industrial Injection Diesel Performance's engine builder, Sean Baca. Sean gets his trucks tuned by Ben Shadday of Done Right Diesel Performance, which we featured in a Diesel of the Week back in August 2019. Sean's enthusiasm for following what we're doing with Diesel of the Week is mutual, as we've been following what he's been doing with his 2006 Dodge 2500, aptly named Master Shredder. Sean's Master Shredder is the current chassis dyno horsepower record holder at 2,760 horsepower. Despite what we knew from Sean's podium performances at competitions such as the Ultimate Callout Challenge, we wanted to know more about his role at Industrial Injection Diesel Performance in Salt Lake City, Utah, and find out what he's been doing to Master Shredder to up the ante for 2020. We'll get into all that and more in this episode of Diesel of the Week.
This video is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Visit amsoil.com for more information.
Hey everyone, I'm Greg Jones for Engine Builder, and today we're taking a look at what Industrial Injection Diesel Performance and engine builder Sean Baca have in store for the 2020 version of the truck Master Shredder and its 6.7-liter Cummins engine. Sean has been an engine room mainstay at Industrial Injection as the head engine builder for 10 years now. As head engine builder, Baca says he puts together roughly one short block per day to keep up with demand, and Industrial Injection builds 150 to 200 complete engines a year. The Duramax and Cummins platforms reign supreme, but Power Strokes get thrown in the mix as well.
We're known as a Cummins shop just because of what I've done. But yeah, we do work on Duramaxes and Power Strokes. But we have our performance shop, which is in Salt Lake, where we do rebuild all the turbochargers, and we're actually Borg Warner's biggest distributor on the West Coast. This shop is our manufacturing shop, and then we have a machine shop down in Richfield, Utah, where we do all of our we machine parts for the fuel pumps, the injectors, as well as fully machine engines. It's kind of a whole manufacturing operation we got.
Brady Williams started Industrial Injection in 1985, and sadly he passed away a few years ago. However, his wife, Geraldine, and their three boys, Brett, Shane, and Cody, all run the business as a family today. And Sean has been a big part of that as well, with his sights always set on more horsepower. That affinity for diesel led him to the dyno circuit and drag race events, and it's been nonstop ever since.
A couple of years after I started working here, I picked up, it's called Master Shredder. Chased the dyno circuit pretty heavily on that, with that truck, just shooting for power. That turned into a big deal where the Ultimate Callout Challenge and all that stuff kind of evolved from.
Well before Baca's aspirations got as big as they are today, Industrial Injection was actually leading the charge when it came to high horsepower Duramax engines. In fact, it was Industrial Injection that was the first to crack the 2,000 horsepower mark on a chassis dyno with a Duramax. That's when Sean began striving to do it with a Cummins. That 2,000 horsepower feat was accomplished only 5 or 6 years ago, which just goes to show how much evolution has occurred in diesel performance in such a short time. With plenty more still to prove, Baca has been busy with the next evolution of Master Shredder. And here's Sean to tell you a little more.
The truck itself, it was a daily driver. And then it slowly, once I started chasing that the dyno circuit, it morphed into a race truck. It came with a 5.9 Cummins. The engine that's currently in it is a solid block 6.7 Cummins. It's an aftermarket block made by Hamilton Cams out of Texas. It's loaded. It's got diamond pistons in it. It's got a Hamilton's roller camshaft, Manton roller rockers. We did all the machine work in-house. It's got Carilla rods, factory crankshaft, all ARP hardware. You want to call it like a stage 4 race head. It's a factory head that we've modified highly. Oversized victory valves, Hamilton dual springs, competition cut, valve seat. The head has been full CNC ported and hand blended. The intake runner has been cut off. has a sheet metal intake that was built for it. ZZ Fab. As far as injectors, it's got our King Cobra injectors. The truck right now runs 3 CP3 pumps. Two are driven off the belt. But that engine, it's the exact same rotating assembly, all that stuff that's in the truck. But I went to a dry sump oiling system and a gear-driven timing cover, so that incorporates all the CP3s to be driven off of gears instead of a belt. The setup on that, it's got 3 Garrett GTX Gen 2 106 millimeter turbochargers on it, and 4 kits of nitrous from Nitrous Express.
To the tire, the prior 6.7 liter Cummins did 2,760 horsepower on a chassis dyno. With the new 6.7 liter Cummins engine, Baca is trying to shoot for the 3,000 horsepower mark to the tire, which he admits is an extremely hard feat.
Trying to get tires to hook up at that power level and that short of a sweep on RPM and stuff like that. It's a battle. I was hanging around the 2,500 horse range for a long time. Up until last summer, we cranked it up to that 2,700 horse. Gave her a little more nitrous and a little more tuning. Then to throw the kitchen sink at it. Still working on the truck, and that's why we went to 4 pumps and stuff like that, because we are testing bigger injectors. Basically, what I'm running into, I'm having a hard time keeping fuel to them. So, this thing has a big 12-gallon-a-minute air motive gear pump, lift pump that supplies the fuel to the CP3s, the 4 CP3s. But that's what we've been up against, is not having enough fuel pressure for the injectors. So we're not making what we should. But as far as on paper goes, we got enough air on there for 6,000 horse. With three of those 106 mil turbos and enough nitrous to put that thing in the atmosphere.
While horsepower levels don't seem to be a problem, the truck's weight has been an issue in drag race events, and Sean is working to rectify that by getting the truck's weight down to around 4,500 pounds. With the truck's weight in check and the new triple turbo 6.7 liter Cummins aimed at hitting 4,000 horsepower on the engine dyno and 3,000 horsepower on the chassis dyno, Sean and Master Shredder seem poised to hold on to the chassis dyno crown. Well, that does it for this episode of Diesel of the Week. A special thanks to our sponsor, AMSOIL. And remember, if you have a diesel engine you'd like to see featured, please email me at gjones@babcox.com. Until next time, thanks for watching.